Hi, and welcome again to more iDrive Crap. Now, this particular piece of crap is my 2011 Chevy Impala, otherwise known as, well, I know you've heard it before, but it's named Vlad the Impala. This particular mount I have in the car is one of the ones that mounts into the radio, and it vibrates and bounces, and I just happened to be on one of the worst roads in town that for some reason they never fix. They just make it work. This particular fine sweet ride I got from a friend of mine that did not want to spend the $3,000+ to get it inspected. And he asked if I wanted it. Well, if it has wheels, I said, does it run? He said, yeah. He said, is it still inspected? He said, yeah, till the end of the month. I said, great. So I drove to, probably 60 miles to his house. We had lunch, and besides having lunch, we went, picked up the car and cleaned it out. Got the title transferred over, and here we are. It is a little over a year later. The worst part about it was the exhaust pipe going from the engine down to the rest of the exhaust past the Y pipe, including the catalytic converter. That particular piece was broken, and the catalytic converter was bad. Now, the odd thing about fixing that is this particular vehicle had California emissions. Well, I should say it had California emissions. It does not have California emissions on it. It did not from the factory. But for some reason, the only ones of these that had two catalytic converters were California emissions vehicles. Well, this didn't have California emissions, so I don't know why it had two catalytic converters on it. And it took months. Safety-wise, car passed, everything fine. But trying to get the check engine light off, which was just, the name of those escapes me right now, but your little catalytic converter sensors. And to make that go out took months. I would go out and run it and nothing. I would reset the code, go run it some more, and it would be off, and it would be lots of miles, and it would come back on. And it was making me absolutely insane for a good 3 months. And it was just take it, run it, get it scanned, find out it didn't do it, change a couple of things, go out, run it again, change it, run it again. Put a lot of useless miles on this. I shouldn't say useless, just aimless wandering, mixed driving, trying to get it to scan. It finally did. As of right now, like I said, I have a little over a year on this car. It's run great. Going back to, if you drive a vehicle right, it will get decent mileage. Lives in the city and commutes on some very bad traffic. He has two styles of driving. All the way on the gas, all the way on the brake. It's the way he is. That's fine, whatever. So, in driving this, well, I live a little more, I shouldn't say I live rural, but I live in a smaller town. I know the back roads pretty much everywhere. I don't mind driving a little further if I get to stay out of bumper-to-bumper traffic. I had a friend long ago look at me and say, how do you do that? And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, how do you do that? I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, I want to know how you manage to get us further and further out into the middle of nowhere until I think we go any further. You make a turn, you go one block, and we are downtown. And I just kind of laughed and said, well, the way things are, here we are. This particular vehicle it's quiet, it's comfortable. I'm assuming the radio works fairly well. I think I've actually listened to it once, maybe twice. I accidentally turned it on a couple more times and figured out from the static in the background that, I turned the radio on. Total number of times in the past year that I've actually used it are like 5. I'd rather listen to the car, pay attention to what I'm doing. Occasionally I might throw on a podcast. So this is what I mainly use for distance driving now. I took my son, likes trains. He wanted to go down to a train museum in Richmond. Turned out he really meant Roanoke, but we went to Richmond, which ended up being about a 700-mile day. We woke up early in the morning. He took a nap. We drove down to Richmond. We walked into the museum. I think we were there approximately an hour because the museum in Richmond is not very large. We drove down. He slept. I will tell you that I used to run a lot on I-95 in my trucking career. 2 to 4 times a day, 6 days a week, sometimes more. The traffic Traffic then used to be crazy. Traffic now, oh, wow. I couldn't do that every day anymore. We got down to south of Washington, D.C., probably about 10 miles south of the loop. It was just dead stop, bumper to bumper traffic, crawling all the way down from basically a little south of DC to Richmond. It was brutal. And there was no reason for it. There was no construction. It was just a bunch of people. I want to be first. I want to be first. I shouldn't say there was no construction. There was construction, but the road was totally open. There was no reason for it. Some other fun and exciting trips we took with this. We went and drove on Norfolk Southern 611. That was a steam train trip we went on, and we drove down to somewhere towards Western Virginia, down off 81. Not quite down to Roanoke, but we drove down there, spent the night, trained the next morning, came back, and it was a weekend trip. It was a good time. This just ran down the road. Everyday driving. My friend that used to own this, he would clock anywhere from, say, 12 to 15 miles to the gallon, 3.5 V6 4-speed automatic. I myself am rarely under 20 per miles to the gallon. Let's see where we're at right now. According to the dashboard, average economy 24.5, which is not overwhelmingly awesome, but that should tell you the amount of short trips I've run with this. Mainly school run, because my average speed has been 27.1. But besides the exhaust work this needed, it needed tires. Again, went on to Marketplace, found a set, correct size. So it was all 4 tires, $180 cash. Drove down with this, put all 4 of them in the trunk, went to a friend's, again, sweat equity, changed all the tires, threw some of the balance beads in the tires. They have just rolled down the road ever since. As you can hear, car's quiet, runs decent. Mileage on this one when I got it was 106,500 miles. I have 120,681 on it now. Like I said, other than some general maintenance, I mean, the first thing you do is you have to bring up all the maintenance that was deferred. Once that's done, just go out and run it, maintain it. Right now, due for an oil change. A couple other things I want to look at. Crazy thing is when the exhaust was broken, it managed to melt the drain for the evaporator. That being melted, if you use the air conditioner, it drains back into the passenger side floor. That trip down to Richmond, it was a very hot day. Lots of humidity, 100 degrees, traffic, it ran the air conditioner. Wow. By the time I got home, there was literal puddles in the passenger side floor. Every now and then, I just grab the vacuum and vacuum the water out of the passenger side floor. It is what it is, because to try and replace that, more or less have to take the whole dashboard out. I mean, the tube is about not even 12 inches long. It just doing all that through that little tube. I don't know. Right now, I just pulled the relay for the air conditioner. It doesn't turn on. Yes, the car does not have any air conditioning, but it currently about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and according to the vehicle, it is 69 degrees. Sunny, slightly overcast maybe. It is what it is. And even with the windows up, it's not bad. As I previously said, I tend to like to run cool, so a little warm for my liking, but I think my wife would be incredibly comfortable. Right now, I just went for a little ride out in the country. In a little bit, I will pull over. I will give you a walk around of this fine sweet ride. Some of the things that have happened to this in its life. Started out life as a rental car, and about the first 30,000 miles of its life, it was a rental. People are hard on rentals. Then it was sold to a man, I think in New Jersey. He was more, I guess the best way to say it, exit 3. He was exit 3. He had this down towards South Jersey and ran it up and down 295 and probably put another 30,000, 35,000 miles on it in the years that he had it. God rest his soul, he passed, and my friend bought it from the estate. So he ran it a few years and just got tired of getting kicked in the head, because every time he took it to the garage for inspection, $3,000. And he just finally got to the point where he just noped out. Good, nope, all good. And it became my problem, which I drive crap, so I enjoy it. Occasionally, it sucks having more than one crap vehicle and everything has something wrong. So that part is never fun. We have this one usually doesn't so much have any problems. Like I said, quiet, comfortable, trunk's huge. It had been hit. There was a tractor trailer doing port work hauling a container chassis, and that's just the wheels that the box attaches to. Well, one of the bearings went bad, maybe the nut backed off, I don't know. But the truck made a turn, two of the wheels bolted together along with the brake drum, separated off the truck, rolled down the road, and hit the back of this. Luckily, my friend had just bought it, so the insurance company paid to replace the back bumper and have it painted. It was pretty well fixed up. Under my particular tenure, that would not happen. The front of this, it had rear-ended another vehicle, so the hood is dented, slightly buckled, and it looks, if you don't know better, to be open, which it does close, and it does close securely, but it is slightly buckled like this, which in a minute you'll see. So other fun and excitement is, well, I wouldn't mind fixing that. I could go to the junkyard and pick up the pieces, but the way it is all fit together, I can't replace the hood without replacing the bracket. It's one of those things where if you get into one thing, you'll get into another thing, basically opening a can of worms. As of right now, it works and it is secure. Is it a little ugly? Yes. Do we care about aesthetics here? No. We're concerned with function. If the hood wouldn't stay closed, you can bet it would get fixed, and it would get fixed immediately, and I wouldn't drive it much until it was. But having it secure and just sort of ugly, fine, no big deal. We are going to stop in just a moment, take a look at the aesthetics of this fine, fine, sweet automobile. Okay, let's do kind of a check it out. Here we are. As you can see, this is what I meant with the hood. But we go up here, you can't really see the dent. It is secure, and it really doesn't look bad. There are some paint imperfections. Like I said, it is a beater, so who cares? There's a couple of things that I need to touch up a little bit just to preserve the longevity a little bit, because I plan on having this around for a while. As much as I did not like them as a rental car, back in 2010, we were offered one of these, and he basically compared it to it having the driving dynamics of spaghetti, and it was not really something that I wanted to be saddled with. As far as the interior, not in bad shape, a little dirty. I always said when I get it fixed, I would clean it. Well, it just never really got to that point, so I popped the hood, and there it is. Awesome power of the 3.5 liter Chevy V6. So far, it's just run a treat. Like I said, maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. So that was another one of the fine, sweet rides. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.